Aquarius, it's really important that you are paying attention to signs and especially symbols in the month of December. While this does have some bearing in the astrology, the actual reason why I tell you this is because while I was connecting with your energy, I saw the image of a triskelion come through very, very clearly. For those of you who aren't familiar, the triskelion is that triple spiral symbol, often associated with Celtic spirituality, although I do believe it's appeared in other parts of the world as well, or at least that motif has. And it really does represent Trinity. Some people this represents body, mind, spirit. Some people this represents heaven, hell, earth. For other people, I've also seen this as sky, sea, and land, which is kind of the trinity that we often see in Celtic spirituality. But I really feel like there is something about trinities. There's something about threes. Some of you could be seeing 333 a lot. And for me, 3 is also a number of manifestation because we live in the third dimension. It is this physical time-space reality that we are occupying. And so there's something about making things real, bringing things into the physical. And I think this is really interesting. And I do think astrologically, it makes sense that there's a lot of focus on spirituality. We do have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. That actually happens the day after the Sagittarius new moon on the 12th. And we also do go into Capricorn season, which is just a very spiritual and introspective time for you. So I really do feel like there is something about you connecting to spirituality, especially if you are Irish or have some sort of Celtic heritage. But even if you don't, I think there is still something about threes and trinities that I'd love to hear about in the comments. If you're excited for this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. I want to wish you all a very happy and blessed holiday season. I know that this time of year can be challenging for some people, so I'm really sending lots of warm wishes to you and your loved ones and anyone you know who needs it. I'm actually running a sale on my website, so you can get 20% off all of my services using the code GOODTIDINGS. This is good through the end of December, and I really think that this is just a great time to get a reading or Reiki session done. That way you can start off the new year on the right foot. By popular request, I actually do have gift cards available in my store as well, so it's never been easier to gift a reading or Reiki session to a loved one. I know lots of people have asked me about that in the past, so I'm really excited to unveil those as well. And I just want to thank all of you who have supported me and this channel, and I can't believe that we've made it through another year. It really is just such a gift to be able to do this work for all of you, and from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful for you and wish you a beautiful holiday season. Aquarius, while I'm shuffling the cards for you, I am just going to give my friendly reminder that these are general readings, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. Some of these roles may also come in the reverse, so another person's energy might be your own or vice versa. And ultimately, if this reading just doesn't resonate with you, nothing went wrong. It just means that the message isn't for you at this time, but you're more than welcome to check out the other videos on my channel, maybe for your moon or especially rising sign. There could be some messages for you there as well. So what are the messages that we have for Aquarius? What are the messages for the month of December? We actually just had this card fly straight out, and it's actually the King of Cups, which is really interesting because I feel like this is a very masterful energy. Maybe this is an energy that you are embodying, but it can also represent a water sign, particularly Scorpio, but could also be Cancer or Pisces. I feel like a lot of you are just in a place where you have achieved some sort of balance in your life, some sort of emotional balance. And that doesn't mean that you haven't felt things. That doesn't mean that things haven't been hard. But you've just been very present with your emotions however they come to you. And maybe you've just been very present with other people as well. A lot of the time with the King of Cups, this is someone who has a lot of composure, and it kind of makes me think of the expression, still waters run deep. This could be for you. This could be another person's energy. Wow, again, these cards are just flying out. I really do feel like it's you. And it might also be something that you have gained maybe from a spiritual teacher or some sort of mentor or guide, looking at the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. But honestly, whatever this is representing, it's like maybe someone gave you some sort of inspiration or motivation. Maybe there was just some sort of epiphany. Maybe there was a guide or a mentor who has kind of awakened your own inner guide or inner teacher. There is something about you seeking out inspiration, and maybe seeking out inspiration through tradition or through specific belief systems. Again, I am thinking of that triskelion that I saw while connecting to your energy. There could be other symbols or other backgrounds as well too. I don't want to hyper focus on that or anything, but I just feel like there's a lot of spiritual exploration, and that really does make a lot of sense going into Capricorn season for you. I'm really not just surprised to see that at play. We have also had the planet Venus in your astrological ninth house in Libra, and that could also be indicating some sort of exploration, maybe looking at art or what other cultures found beautiful, or what they believed in. And maybe there's something there that is coming for you as well. There's just something that has really reinvigorated you spiritually, and it almost feels like this kind of awakening energy that you have been going through. And it feels like other people will notice this about you, Aquarius. There's just something in the way that you are carrying yourself. There's something in the way that you are speaking. And I'm actually hearing, like, even the way that you speak, it's almost like there is this transmission. There is this energy that you are giving off. And I'm loving just how esoteric this reading is feeling, because it's like you have this vibration, you have this energy. And it's like you are very embodied this month. We do have the moon as well, so it does feel like there is some exploring, maybe at times feeling lost or not totally understanding what's going on. But I really almost see this more as an exploration, to be honest. I'm not feeling this in a negative sense, although emotions could be quite heightened for a lot of people this month, or maybe you're experiencing heightened emotions yourself. But you're the King of Cups. You have this very strong emotional center. You also might be speaking to somebody who is like a guide, a mentor, a therapist, someone who's really helping you maintain this level of composure or mastery. Tell me more about the moon. What does this moon represent? I think there could be some confusion, especially regarding finances. That could be something that's coming up a bit this month with Neptune and Pisces being a bit activated. And I think there could actually be some confusion with this new moon that we have in Sagittarius on the 12th. And for you, I feel like you want to connect with people who are very spiritual or people who are very like-minded. But there might be some sort of difference in values. There might be a hard time communicating values, or really finding people who value the same things as you, or just being on the same page as other people. And I think with the new moon in Sagittarius as well, like it's a very fiery one. Not only is the new moon in a fire sign, in the sign of Sagittarius, but it's also conjunct Mars, which is very energizing. And I do feel like there's something that's revving you up. There's something that's lighting you up with this Ace of Wands. Some of you are getting spiritual downloads, and you're getting them in your sleep or in your dreams. I'm actually feeling like some of you might wake up feeling exhausted because you've been very active in the astral. There's something going on where it's like you are absorbing a lot of information, and it feels like you're having a hard time integrating that. And maybe that's why the body, mind, spirit thing is so important, that motif, because it's about having that balance and integrating the spirit, integrating the mind into the body, and really seeing all of those as extensions of each other as well. What do we have? Ooh. We do have the Eight of Swords here. Some of you could be feeling a little bit stuck. Maybe stuck in a confusing energy. What does the moon represent here? You're working through a lot of self-imposed limitations and beliefs. I feel like the energy is a little bit confusing for you this month, and maybe that's why the symbols are so helpful, because it's hard to put things into words. And maybe some of you even need to like do some sort of automatic drawing exercise, or really just looking at visuals or looking at symbols. Maybe describing things as symbols could be something that's helpful as well. There's something about images that's really, really important, because it feels like there's a hard time communicating or being seen. And I do feel like there is also focus on friendships and on social groups, particularly with the new moon in Sagittarius, wanting to connect with people, but also Mercury going retrograde. It starts retrograde in Capricorn, but it actually goes into the sign of Sagittarius on the 23rd. And that's where there could really be a lot of miscommunications with you and friends, maybe even some arguments or misunderstandings. That could also be with your community or some sort of group. It feels like there's just like something is not getting across. There's something for some reason that almost feels blocked. What do we have for Aquarius? What else do we have for Aquarius? We do have the Page of Cups. Interesting. I do feel like, again, this is about listening to your intuition, listening to the guidance that you are receiving. It's almost like the people around you just don't get it. You might be going through some sort of spiritual shift that people around you just aren't a match to. And like, you might be trying to share something that's really exciting or something that feels very important or significant, and people are either kind of like just dismissing it, or they just don't know how to engage with it, and that could be that source of disconnect. But I think it is still really important that you are connecting with your intuition, you are connecting with your spirituality. I do feel like there is also a person who is very important or significant to you this month, Aquarius. We have the Page of Wands. Interesting. To be honest, when it comes to love and relationships, particularly for those of you who are single, it feels like there might be someone who on the surface like shares some sort of spiritual connection with you, or shares some sort of like important interest or important value. But it's honestly pretty surfacey. I feel like if you actually got to know each other, or as you get to know each other, there's kind of like, oh, there was this big expectation because it was like so exciting that we were connecting. But it's almost like the spark isn't there or isn't as obvious once you get to know each other. That's kind of a specific message, but I'm just saying that for some of you, don't get distracted by shiny relationships or shiny people. Don't, this sounds kind of weird, but it's like, it's almost like, don't expect to be understood this month. Don't expect to really connect on this really deep level with people, because I feel like you have a lot of depth. And it's almost like, well, where do I put that? Put it into your meditation, put it into your reflections, put it into your writing, put it into some art. Do something with it, express it in some way. What is all of this about? Honestly, all of this energy feels really abstract. I feel very in the mind with you, Aquarius. And sometimes I just feel that way with your energy, but like, in this reading, it's like you're kind of floating too. Like, I don't even think it's necessarily just other people. Like, you're having a hard time expressing yourself or really connecting with people. And it's like something needs to be processed. Something needs to be digested more. Like, you got the download, and now like something is installing. Yeah, something needs to come down to your roots, is what I'm actually getting with the Six of Cups. Some of you are also reconnecting with things that are really important to you. This could be people, loved ones, family members, dear friends, dear spiritual teachers. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but I feel like some of you have been listening to a teacher or have some sort of guide. This could even be someone on social media, but it feels like there is someone who is helping you connect with yourself or reconnect with your spiritual self, which is very, very interesting. And it feels like there's just some people who don't understand it. I'm actually even hearing people asking you, like, is this a cult or something? And I mean, I'm not going to tell you what it is in a general reading, but I don't necessarily take that seriously. It's just like other people don't know how to connect with you or engage with you. And it kind of does feel like it's very centered around beliefs and value. Or I mean, sorry, values. What else do we have for Aquarius? Any other messages? We have the world. Yeah, there's a lot of growth. You're becoming something different. You're becoming something new. You're stepping into a new chapter. And at the same time, though, it's not really new. It's like you're remembering who you are. And it feels like there's a lot of repressed aspects of yourself that could potentially be coming up, especially with all of this Capricorn energy. Things that you have repressed, parts of you that you've repressed. And I think you're actually going to feel those parts as you are doing body work. And I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. So much of our subconscious mind is actually connected to our body. It's in the rhythms, it's in the patterns, it's the things that we store that we aren't consciously aware of. And as you are grounding, as you are rooting yourself with these 6 of Cups, there is this healing, there is this reclamation, there is this recognition of things that mean something to you, that matter to you. And it's helping you blossom. It's helping you realize your potential. But it feels like people just aren't understanding. Definitely comment if that is resonating for you, because I feel like there's this really beautiful spiritual energy for you, Aquarius, and like for some reason people are just not able to connect with you on that level for some reason. Mercury retrograde is probably a huge part of that. Unfortunately, it's going direct on New Year's Day, so by 2024, by the new year, we are starting to get on the same page again. We are starting to figure out how to communicate and kind of getting back on the same page with people. But I kind of feel like there is this sort of confusion or disconnect. What other messages do we have? I feel like specifically December 22nd, the day of the solstice, we actually also have Mercury and the Sun joining together. And Mercury is retrograde. This is the Cazimi, where Mercury is closest to the Sun. And this represents some sort of revelation a lot of the time, because the Sun is this light-giving body. It's illuminating. And Mercury represents the mind. It represents communication. This is actually probably the best time in the retrograde to get things done and to have communications with people or have conversations. But I really do feel like this is a time where you are going to be downloading a lot of information. Something that's also really important with the Sun and Mercury Cazimi on the 22nd, it is technically conjunct the galactic center. Now, the center of our galaxy is in the 28th degree of Sagittarius, so it is in another sign, but it is still close enough, and it is at 0 degrees, the Sun and Mercury in Capricorn, so right on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, we have the Sun and Mercury coming together. And so there is like a lot of very big energy. And I think for you specifically, it's very, you're very connected to the collective unconsciousness of, honestly, the universe, but specifically like the galaxy. There's very, very ancient energy that you are processing. And I know that the triskelion, that symbol that I saw, is one of the oldest spiritualist symbols, at least associated with Celtic spirituality. So very, very interesting stuff. I kind of want to pull an animal card for you. I want to figure out what energy you should be embodying this month. We have the sea serpent. This is literally the King of Cups. It's kind of the King of Cups on steroids, actually, because the sea serpent represents the sacral chakra, which is all about emotions, being both present and expressive in your emotions. Some of you are actually healing stuff from your maternal lineage or matrilineage. I'm just getting that for some reason, kind of that umbilical connection, actually. And it feels like the sacral chakra is actually really important for you because you yourself are birthing something. And when we see the sea serpent, it's kind of like being present with our emotions, being present with the tides or the water, regardless of what that looks like. And so emotional presence, being unconditionally present with yourself is really, really important, especially when other people don't get you. But honestly, also recognizing where other people are at and like maybe having compassion or understanding for that. And maybe your paths are just different. It's kind of interesting too, because when I'm really looking at the sea serpent, I'm kind of looking at this eye at the center, and it almost reminds me of like the evil eye charm, Malocchio, kind of warding off negative energy from other people as well. It's really important that I just have to come back to this Page of Wands, Page of Cups. I kind of feel like there's someone who you might have physical chemistry with, and on the surface, or at least at first, it seems like there's more to it. But I think you actually need to be really careful with who you're sharing yourself with sexually this month. I'm just going to say that. Not trying to shame anyone. I'm a very sex positive person, but there is also, I think, an energetic reality to anyone we are interacting with, especially on a sexual level, where maybe you want to just kind of feel a person out before you are connecting with someone. Obviously, that's not going to apply to all of you, but I do just feel that enough that I have to say it, you know? So that's something that's kind of coming up with this sacral energy as well. But yeah, sea serpent. Embody the sacral chakra, embody the sea serpent energy, really become a master of emotion. Excuse me. Any other messages for Aquarius? We have the hawk. Yeah, you're seeing things from a really, really high perspective, Aquarius. And it feels like, honestly, you've just had this crazy awakening or this crazy perspective shift, or you're going through that. And I hate to say, I feel like other people just aren't going to get it. And that's okay. They don't need to understand right now. You don't need to try and make someone change or try to catalyze someone right now. They will catalyze just by seeing the shift that is happening in you. You know, you are living as an example of some sort of shift. I really, really feel that. There's like some sort of spiritual or subconscious thing that is changing for you that's like making you this kind of like energy transmitter. This is so interesting. You have to let me know in the comments down below how this is resonating, because I kind of feel a little bit crazy. And I mean, that is sort of your energy. You're kind of out there, Aquarius, so I'm not surprised that it's coming up in your reading, but this really does feel like there's a very significant spiritual shift. And I've kind of been downplaying a little bit because I don't want to seem like I'm just ranting and using all of these kind of like spiritual cliches, all of these terms, but it really does feel like, whoa, there is something very, very profound happening for you this month that I think you're just going to have to let us know about in the comments down below. I am getting like some of you are going through Kundalini awakening. Some of you are going through some sort of spiritual awakening or spiritual shift. There was something else that was coming up. Some of you are learning about human design as well, and you're getting something out of that. Make of what you will. But I really feel like there's just something here that is like really igniting you. Anyways, Aquarius, those are all the messages for you. I hope it wasn't too out there. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe. All of my links are in the description box of this video if you'd like a personal reading or distance Reiki session with me. Again, all of my services are 20% off, so maybe if you want some help decoding whatever this is, we can do that more one-on-one. And I will see you on the next video. I hope you have a very happy and blessed December. I'm wishing you a very beautiful holiday season, and I will see you all next time. Take care, Aquarius.